Breaking news. Fat and broke in Vietnam. Telling you how it is. Okay, so we got the CCP virus update in Vietnam. There's 251 cases. There's no deaths. But however, the British flight guy that went to the Buddha bar is not doing so hot. We all hope he recovers, but he's got organ failure right now. He's been declining since Monday. So we hope it's not going to be our first actual death here. We wish him all the safety and that he heals fast and quick and has a recovery and can get back to his life. Most are all still imported cases. Just now, the past two cases are a community transfer case, though, so it doesn't mean that they came from a direct contact of a Wuhan type person. 122 out of the 251 have been discharged, so that's pretty good numbers. I mean, we're talking 129 or 28 cases left. That's pretty good. So here's the big debate that's running rampant in America right now and worldwide: is to mask or not mask. You mask. Everyone should mask. If everyone masks, it curves this thing. It's as simple as that. It's not going to protect you from it, but it's sure hell of a lot going to help save you from giving it to other people, from spreading it. It's crazy that it's even a discussion anymore. The reason why Vietnam has done so well with this thing from the go is because it's been a mass culture, and everyone wears a mask. It has nothing to do with heat. They now know that. They haven't proved it, but they have no proof that says heat helps in any kind of way. It's more of the mask and the social distancing and the government telling you the real information from the go, which is what Vietnam's been doing since January. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, social distancing is the big thing. If you're outside in a large group here now, like I have a river across from me, and this weekend everybody was fishing, and the police came in a police truck and made everybody leave. So they're now dispersing any groups larger than 2 to 4 here, which is good as well. And I don't think America said wear a mask up until like a day ago or the previous day, because they were trying to procure enough masks for the hospitals and for government people. So after they hit some kind of quota, I think then they said, let's release the information properly, which I know sounds nuts, but that's most likely the actual scenario that happened in America. So now you're going to see in the next week, they're going to say everybody has to have a mask on. In fabric, make it at home, doesn't matter, just have a mask on when you go out. Social distance, don't be close to somebody, be 6 feet away, yada, yada, yada. As far as elevators go, if you live in an elevator building like I do, I don't mean it to be rude, but I just wait until I get an elevator by myself. There's no reason for me to sit in an elevator for 48 floors with 5 to 6 people, or even more. I don't have a problem waiting for another elevator to be empty, so you might want to do the same thing if you're in a high-rise situation. 82,000 dead worldwide and 209 countries infected. So, I mean, this thing's fully everywhere now, and it's fully... they say only 82,000 dead. They think that that's the actual number of dead just in China. I mean, even more than that. If you just count how many people were cremated there and just count how many urns were made and how many urns are being delivered, the number is well over 100,000 dead. Sure, it could be from other stuff, but yeah, I'll leave you to think about that. So this is big for the expats here. For anyone in Vietnam and anywhere, expatting anywhere, if you want to get back to America, America's saying go now. They're not saying wait. They're saying if you're on the fence, jump over the fence and go home. So they're pretty much making it sound like they're probably going to glut all incoming flights pretty quickly to America. So if you want to get out of here and don't want to be wherever you're at for long term, up to 6 months, I'd say get your ass out, go back home if that's what you want to do. My life is here. I have Win. I'm happy here. I'm not leaving here no matter what. She's my chick. I wouldn't go back to the States. I have nothing there anyways. My life is here. So for me, the States aren't an option, and it doesn't look particularly great over there. Probably 400,000 cases as I'm talking now, maybe even more. Let's see. Oh, a cool thing. Vietnam's starting to pump out some stimulus for their people. So all the people that sell lottery tickets here are pretty much the poor. they're gonna bolster the lottery vendors in Saigon, and give them a stimulus per month of close to what they were making from selling lottery tickets, so they can still eat and all that stuff, which is very great on the government here on that part. Hanoi police will launch criminal investigation into fake internet news posts. Up to 7 years for it in jail and heavily fined. Hundreds of these cases have popped up where they've investigated them, but no one has been jailed yet. People have just been fined or asked to apologize, or in that kind of lieu of things. So the main thing they're talking about there is there's like people in Hanoi saying prepare for the city to get completely locked down, stuff like this. And the government wants to control that narrative first, so they don't want to incite panic and have people like running out and buying a bunch of food and all this stuff and hoarding water. And of course the legendary toilet paper, which I don't know why everybody thinks they need a stockpile of. You can shit shower. It's always a perfect method for handling that stuff. So let's see. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to do a moto vlog. So I'll drive around D1, I think D7, and maybe D2. And I'll show you how the streets look. It's insane. It's absolutely empty. Just total emptiness. Nobody's out. China. Oh, shit. So now we've just covered the Vietnam news. So now we're going to kind of go into the China narrative and what China's doing. This is going to be a big breakdown of why you shouldn't believe anything the CCP is putting out or anything that's coming out of China. It's all just sow, which is lie. So they opened up Wuhan today in Hubei province. They opened up Hubei province. Most other provinces aren't taking in anyone from there, but they still managed to sell 55,000 train tickets sold, and people already moved today. They already got on the train and went. So my opinion is it was never contained in Wuhan. There's so many asymptomatic that most likely you just let 5 to 10,000 infected people travel across China. So they already are in the middle of their second wave, in my opinion, and this is just going to spread it even that much faster. So let's see. Do not contain. Say line. Their numbers so jump start economy. Yeah, so they're saying that there's no new cases reported, so that they can jumpstart the economy again, so they can get their economy going again, and maybe get foreign investors to think it's okay. Get the people thinking that China's really beat this thing, and that the virus actually probably originated in Italy or America. That is 100% what all of the China news is trying to do right now, mainly on the hand of the CCP. They are literally feeding it like they are all healed. They haven't had any new cases for days now. Everything's back to normal. We're good to go. But if you're a white person there, you get discriminated everywhere. Excuse me. If you want to see the discrimination stuff, and a more detailed breakdown of that, Serpentenza does a really good job of explaining exactly what's happening to foreigners there, because he has so many expat friends that still live there, and they can't go anywhere, any restaurants or anything. They all refuse business because China's CCP has already made the propaganda that it's coming from white people now, and it's coming from Westerners, and it's coming from all foreigners, and that China's already beat it. And it didn't ever really originate in China. It actually came from America or Italy. First they tried America, and now they're trying to pin it on Italy. But they're going to keep sending this narrative out. They won't be able to contain that they're in a second wave for too much longer. They already have another major city 90% locked down. So we'll go over that in a bit here. The other thing China did is they hoarded medical equipment worldwide, bought it from everywhere from January till early March. And now it's some of this medical equipment is terrible. All their tests are terrible. They have like a 80% false positive reading, so they're worthless. So like their kit test that they saying they're donating it to other people like Ireland and all this stuff, but in actuality these governments are actually paying for this stuff, and they're not able to use like 50% of it usually. The PPEs, which is like the face masks and stuff, don't pass even like the worst of standards to be used. The test kits are worthless. So lots of governments have wasted millions of dollars and paid for equipment from China in hopes that it would help their government. So it's more, and really I think, to be honest with you, China's doing this on purpose to get more infections up at other countries to divert all of the attention onto their own selves. That's how the CCP works. They're absolutely insane. I'm going to get back into my Hong Kong series. I have a bunch of interviews and a bunch of footage I never put out there. And if you're really interested in this stuff now, you're really going to like this Hong Kong protest footage I took all in the summer of this previous year. I went 2 times for long periods of time, and I marched with all the people. I got interviews with people. It's very interesting. You'll see actually how the CCP works in those videos, so look out for them. They'll be coming in the next few days. Let's see what else. Most test kits don't work. We covered that. Hubei province in China's middle. Oh, so there's another city. What's the name of it? Let's see. I got it written down here. Hold on. Guangzhou. So Guangzhou is the other city in China that's primarily getting locked down right now. They're shutting down like sectors of it each day, and slowly by slowly, no one's going out. All the restaurants are impacted again. It's pretty much in like a Wuhan style way. So it just tells you the CCP narrative is not to be trusted. You saw Trump go after a Chinese reporter that said she was from Hong Kong. He asked her, "Are you a China?" And she said, "No, it's a private party." Well, I did a bunch of background work on that. She's completely sow. It's a complete lie. That agency of news she works for is 10% owned by the CCP, and it has strong ties back to Beijing. So the press was right on that particular matter. He was proper to question. I think she just kept pushing the envelope when America would go back to doing trade deals with China, and when economy, everyone would be working with China again. So let's see. So yeah, you're just going to see a lot of the assumption right now is there's 20,000 asymptomatic walking around Wuhan right now untested. So now we've got 55,000 people from Wuhan have left today on a train. Even if you do it by small numbers, and we know how this thing works, if you're sitting in a train with someone for that long, you're going to get infected from just breathing their air through your eyes, through your ears, or through your mouth if you don't have a good mask on. So it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be pretty legit in China again. America's still going to be the pole position for I don't know how long. If I'm in America, I'm not going out. I'm definitely wearing a mask if I would even step out. I know you guys don't have proper grocery delivery like Vietnam does, which stinks, so you might still have to go to the grocery store, but I would almost try to pick weird hours to go to the grocery store as to not run into other people. I mean, if you've got access to like a Myers or one of those big retailers, go at like midnight or 1 a.m. if they're still open then. I highly doubt there's going to be as many people shopping then, but what do I know? Maybe people are having the same idea I have, so can't attest to that because I'm not in America. Definitely be prepared to stay home for a long time in America. My real predicted timeline, absolutely by the earliest, would be August. And the most likely timeline will be somewhere around Christmas. Is probably a realistic date for fully going back into work, fully having everything kind of to a normalized situation. This is going to be a forever change. Hopefully it won't impact us all that much. I've been furloughed on all my clients I have a business, IT business in California. I'm furloughed on all that. So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you are in the same boat. So I really think the guys that give to my Patreon, the guys and women, really helps out. Just the little a bit that we get from it puts food on our table. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, Patreons. Exclusive content for Patreons tomorrow. If you want to join that army, go ahead and sign up on the Patreon and you'll see all that information. I'm going to do more China narrative on Patreon as well and really deep dive into all this stuff. But yeah, it seems from what I'm seeing is Vietnam's doing a good job. The time has come now not to point fingers at any leaders or any bosses. We'll do that afterwards. We'll do this after. We need to remember that it came from China, from the CCP, not from Chinese people. They haven't done anything wrong. It's their communist government. The CCP has been the issue with this all the way from the start. If they would have gave all the proper information, and especially gave America all the actual numbers, then our leader could have prepared Americans properly for what has come instead of being on a very delayed reaction because there was no real stats until we saw how bad it got in Italy. So, and that's the reason why you see like Hong Kong does well with this, and South Korea is doing pretty well with this, is because we're all on that face mask game. We all ain't playing. We know we gotta wear a face mask. It's mandatory law here to wear a face mask. If you wear a face mask outside in Vietnam right now, you look like everyone will look at you and be like, what the, and people will literally ask you to put a mask on. Like literally be like, where's your mask? Put your mask on. So I mean, that is kind of the mentality that needs to be adopted in America if you guys want to curve it really quickly and not see it massively spread. Every state needs to shut down all things. No one should be going out for any gatherings. If you go out and exercise away from someone. I go running here at 2 p.m., dead in the middle of the heat. There's not a soul in the world outside at 2 p.m. because everybody like works out here in the morning before the sun or after during the sun. And then there's a bunch of people, but I go at 2. There's no one out there. So I'm not worrying about getting anything from anyone when I go for my run. I think that's all I got for you guys today. I mean, I just want everyone to be safe, careful. I don't want anyone to get sick. I want anyone that has a trip planned all the way up until, I mean, I'm really saying it. My real deadline for me, in my opinion, to be comfortable to travel again, for all countries to be open for travel again, you're talking Christmas most likely. I can't attest to Vietnam. I don't know how it's going to play out here, and I'm not going to spread any false news about how long it's going to be in lockdown here. They're right now debating on how much longer to social distance and pretty much keep the stay inside policy. I'm going to guess somewhere around a month, but I'm not going to make fake news. So until I know the real number, then I'll report to you the real number of how much longer Vietnam will want us to stay inside Ho Chi Minh City. So thank you all for watching. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy, take care of your loved ones, call your mom and dad, call your sister, call your brother, text them. I text my whole family. I'm not a big of a phone guy. I will call my grandma though because she doesn't know how to text. But yeah, just get a hold of everybody, rekindle. If you got any bad blood in the family, make it decent. You don't want to have that kind of stuff on your conscience if shit goes sour in a quick way. So I love you all. Thank you for the Patreon. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the thumbs up, and thank you to the haters too, because I know you watch every video, so that's just more views for me, even if you do your little thumbs down. It's all good. Alright guys, stay frosty. Peace.